Hey everybody, Art Mills. You're watching Real Deal DIY. What we're doing here today is we're going to show you how to make a sawhorse. Now, I took a look at all the sawhorse videos on YouTube, or some of them anyway, and I thought of a way to make mine different from all of them. First, I'm going to tell you how to do it free. Second, I'm going to tell you how to do it with no tabletop or nothing to work on, because you want to make a sawhorse, obviously, as something to work on. And that means you don't already have something to work on. So we'll use things you can find laying around the house, maybe a center block, you can turn a trash barrel upside down. You can find something to make your cuts on to make these horses. Just be careful, you know, it's not as sturdy as a workbench or the horses you're about to make. This video is dedicated to Harley Ryder. He's the one that thought up this idea and suggested this video. If you'd like a video dedicated to you, just go in the comments below and tell me what you'd like to learn, and I'll shoot one for you. Alright, the free part comes in getting free lumber. Y'all fans of my channel, you already know I like to get free lumber. Things like this with the groove in, that's what they use for strapping down pallets of lumber or whatever at places like Lowe's or Home Depot, your local lumber shop. Now, the place where I shop, the Lowe's where I go, they give those to me for free. I just ask for them when I see them. You know, they may be going through the aisle cutting open packs or whatever of lumber, and they have a shopping cart full of those, and I say, can I have them, and they give them to me. Other way, as you already know if you watch my videos, is you can go to construction sites, climb in the dumpster, and get some lumber out like that. Of course, you're probably going to have to pull some nails out. But maybe they've got some lying around that aren't in the dumpster. Anyway, let's get outside and start making those horses. Other note, when you're getting things out of the dumpster, the links I'm going to give you for these, you may have to adjust them a little bit. Ideally, the length for the I-beam, these are going to be I-beam sawhorses, is 32 inches. I found a board that's 61, so I can't cut that in half and have it be 32. So we're going to make it 30 inches long rather than 32. Now, that doesn't really matter. You can adjust yours however, whatever piece of lumber you find. An inch or two, longer or shorter, it doesn't much matter. We're also going to show you how to assemble your horses with a hammer and nails, because I don't know if you have a drill or not. If you don't have horses, maybe you're just getting started with your tool collection. You saw everybody else do it with their drills and nail guns the easy way on YouTube. Now you're going to see it the real way. The only thing that might end up costing you money is the nails, the 10-penny nails. But really, you can find people on Craigslist giving those away. Also, you should have some for your other projects. Those 10-penny commons are just dirt cheap, and they're good for all kind of things. As always, for all my videos, don't take nothing here I say seriously. It's just a video for entertainment value. Okay everybody, we're outside now. We're about to cut these horses and make them. We got a center block right here. You should have something like this you can use around your house. For the length, you're going to need 3 2x4s for the I-beam. Now these can't be grooved or nothing, and try not to get ones that are too awful crooked for the I-beam. You're going to need 3 of them 32 inches long. Like I said, you can subtract or add an inch or two, it doesn't much matter. For the legs, you're going to need 4 of them 29.5 inches long, more or less. Try not to go too much shorter unless you're shorter. I'm 5'11", so that about works for me. The legs can have grooves in them or whatever, it doesn't much matter. Alright, we're about to make our first cut. Those measurements I just gave you are for 1 horse, so you're making 2 horses obviously, so double that. I'm just making 1 here. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is put a 15-degree bevel on each of the legs at the bottom. Now you could do this with your chop box, your miter box, but I recommend you go ahead and do it with your circular saw, because you need to get good with this thing. If you was a soldier in the carpenter's army, this circular saw would be your rifle. You ain't gonna never get good at making cuts if you're always doing it the easy way with that miter box. I'm just gonna set the bevel at 15 degrees. If you're not familiar with a circular saw, you need to go on my channel, subscribe of course, and check out my videos on how to use a circular saw. There's a button at the bottom, a tab where you can look at my playlist, and there's a playlist called Circular Saw School, where you can watch the videos in order where I think the order will help you the most. So you're holding it just like this. Now this may try to move on you a little bit. You may have to lean on it with this hand here. Sometimes if you can get a good lock on it like this, you may want to use your speed square for bevel cuts to help you make them straight. Now if this is awkward for you, find another way. If you have a picnic table, by all means use it. But I'm just doing it the hard way here to illustrate how you might have to do it if you don't have anything to work with. Alright, you got your 15 degrees here. This is a long point, obviously. Hook the long point, come back 29.5 inches. Of course, you already know you make your marks big like that so you can see them. Don't make these little tiny marks. Put your pencil on the point, scoot your speed square to it. Don't forget to adjust your bevel back. Alright, there's your first leg. You don't need to watch me make all the legs, so we're just going to cut. Now we're going to cut the I-beams. These are square cuts. You don't much need to see this. Of course, you got these probably out of a dumpster or something because it's just scrap lumber and it doesn't really matter. They're sawhorses. So you're going to check them for square before you cut. See, this one's pretty close. It's not exact. I'm just going to leave it alone. Nobody cares. It's a sawhorse. And for those legs, when you're making those bevel cuts, make all your 15-degree bevel cuts first, because it's 8 legs. Otherwise, you're going to have to switch back your bevel 8 times. Now that you got your I-beam set, cut, you want to find out where it's going to set. The easy way to do this is just set them more or less where it looks like they're center, and then measure 1 1/8 on this side, 7/8 on this side. So I'm going to scooch it that way 1/8, 1 inch, and 1 inch. So now we know that we need to come in 1 inch, and we're going to kill 1 inch. That means we're not going to measure with the beak of the tape here. We're going to measure by putting it on 1 inch there, and then coming in at 1 inch here. Alright, we got our mark nice and big. Do the same thing on this end. Take your speed square, bring your mark out to the edge so it's like that. Try to set your speed square on this part so you can grab as much as possible, and not over here with the little part. Now don't just trust that yours are going to be 1 inch, because it may be a little different. Now as far as nailing purposes, you want to find the exact middle here. Mine is 3.5 inches. Half of that is 1 1/2 plus 1/4, 1 3/4. If you want to know how to use your measuring tape as a fraction calculator. I've got a video on it on my channel. Go check it out. One and 3/4 over here. You can kill an inch or not kill an inch. It's not a trim detail, so it doesn't really matter. Got my level here. Just going to use it as a straight edge. Now if I was just making this myself without it being a video, I wouldn't put this line here. This line is just for you. It's going to make it easier to nail by. You want to put your nails right in the center. I don't much need to find the center of this thing because I've marked how far in it's going to sit. I've got my mark there, the back here. So it's not necessary to find the center of this. Now I know where the nails are going to go, so I'm going to go ahead and get my nails started now while it's easy. You want to come in about 5 or 6 inches. Put you a 10D or 12D, preferably 10Ds. Now, if you're the kind of person that does a lot of your own home improvement, get you a 5-pound box of these 10Ds. They're great for all kinds of things. Got it perfect on that end. Just going to hold it the best I can. Come down here and get this end good. And if this end has got off a little bit, then I'll make this end perfect, and I won't worry about going back and checking that other end right now because it's good enough. You have to go slow till that nail starts biting. Try to push down with this hand here. Alright, that's good. Notice when I'm hammering, I've got this point I'm hammering right over top the center block. I'm not out here where it's going to go like this all the time. Nails is enough. It'll be plenty strong. Now it'll be a lot easier to do your other one. You already know you need to come in 1 inch. Again, we're going to find center here. This one's 3.5, so we know that's going to be 1 3/4. Alright, now we've got the I-beam made. Doesn't much matter which end you pick as the top at this point. Come and get our first leg. Now we know with the bevel we've got on here, it needs to set this way with the long point towards the outside of the horse. Go ahead and get a couple nails started here. Nails we're going to bring back from the edge about 1 inch, 1.5 inches or so. top two. Got this I-beam sitting up against my horses here. I'm going to kind of hold it with my foot. Coming back from the edge here, about an inch and a half or so. It doesn't need to be exact. Now the other two nails I'm going to try to drive right into here. But those of you who are just beginning, it's hard to see that angle when you're standing up above it. So you're just going to take a knee down here. Use your square. Put a line right there. Now the way it sits, when this top corner goes up in there and it goes on the outside of this part of the beam here, it makes it kind of forces them all to go the same way. They're not all the same way, it doesn't much matter. It's going to work well. It's kind of hard to mess these things up. That's the same. Alright, you got your horses. This may be strong enough for some of you, but I recommend you put a cross brace right here. Just going to dig in a pile of our overages. It doesn't need to be an exact place or anything, or even exactly straight. Just put it up there. Take your pencil, when you mark, you kind of stab it in the corner like that. Scribe it 2 or 3 times. Same thing on this side. Now that you got your horse built, most of the way anyway, your phone rings. Hey buddy, what's up? Now that you've got your horse built most of the way anyway, you can stop cutting on the ground and cut on your horse. Now it can be difficult sometimes to make a cut with a little piece because it just wants to turn and pivot on you. So if you have to, you can just tack it in there. Of course, tack means leave a little bit of the head out so it's easy to pull out. Now you can hold way back here while you cut. That's the thing about having wooden horses. You couldn't do this with plastic ones. Untack it, cut your other end. I'll catch you back when we're ready to nail this on. Now that you got your piece cut for the side brace, go ahead and get your nails started. Come about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 out from the edge. You may find it's easier just to start one on each side. That way you're not all missing and hitting the other one. I'm going to just find the spot where they go flush here. If you had a nail gun, you wouldn't have to worry about knocking this thing back as it moves. Do the same thing for the other side. Once you get that all built, just going to take your nail set, knock these nails below the surface. Get them about 1/8 of an inch, 3/16, preferably 1/4 if you can. Below the surface. That way when you're cutting, you can cut into this here and it doesn't much matter. You're not going to hit those nails. You should have your blade set about 1/8 of an inch below whatever you're cutting. And then later on, when this gets cut all to pieces, you can just knock this off here. Alright, so that's how you build a horse from scratch with a hammer and nails out of free stuff. If y'all like this video, give it a like. Down below, comment, share it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And be sure to subscribe, alright? I appreciate y'all. Be safe out there. Bye-bye now.